Ready?
Yes.
JK, it's a podcast
with Jackie
and Kevin. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about video games. So I grew up playing PlayStation. I've had every PlayStation to date.
Okay.
So PlayStation 1 in the 90s.
I don't even know.
Because that's I think 95 is when it was
How
released.
old were you when you first got it?
So probably 5, maybe even less than that.
5?
Yeah.
And you got a PlayStation?
I've been playing video games just as long as I've been drawing.
You were 5?
Yeah, looking it up really quick. So PlayStation, the first PlayStation was released December 3rd, 1994. Four months before I was born.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I got it because my memory only goes as far back as maybe 5 or 4. But when I moved to Berwyn, the house that we moved into had a little room where my parents set up all my toys and a TV and my wonderful PlayStation. And we moved to that house around 5 or 6 because I've been in Berwyn since kindergarten-ish.
Right.
So I've been with PlayStation from almost day one.
Right. I'm trying to grasp the idea that your parents were like, our 5-6-year-old needs a PlayStation.
Right.
I'm sure you didn't ask for one. I'm sure you didn't even know what it was. So the fact that your parents were like, yeah, here you go. That just boggles my mind.
Yeah, it was probably because one of my older cousins
Uh-huh.
probably had one. Because I know when the PlayStation 2 came out, probably 5 or 7 years after that,
Yeah.
he had it, and I would go over and I would play on his PlayStation 2.
Uh-huh.
And I was pestering my parents to get me one. And so one Christmas, I got the PlayStation 2.
Right.
So it's probably from him that I ended up with the PlayStation 1. Who knows?
Because I feel like with my parents being where they were, I don't think that was something like, oh, I know what a PlayStation is.
Right.
So we're just going to go get it for him, a 5-year-old. That's weird.
I think I had 3 games. I had 3 games for the PlayStation. There was a Spider-Man game.
Okay.
And there was a SpongeBob game.
For the PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There was a 3rd game. Something Crazy Crash or something like that.
I honestly wouldn't even know. I have no idea.
It was a monster truck rally kind of game.
Okay.
Where you had these crazy vehicles and crazy characters and you just drove around smashing into each other.
Okay.
Oh, I also had this weird robot fighting game that was like Mortal Kombat, but all the characters are like these random robots.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's basically what set me in video games. Got the PlayStation 2. First game I got for that was a racing game called ATV Off-Road Fury 2.
The fact that you remember these names also.
And I had that game, well, it was the only game I had for a long time. Back then, video game consoles didn't have a built-in memory.
Uh-huh.
So you had to buy something called a memory card, which was basically like a little fancy USB drive that held all the games.
So has PlayStation always been CD and then you insert it? Has it always been like that?
Yes.
So it's not like I guess the Nintendo 64 where you gotta
like a cartridge?
So yeah.
Yeah.
So was PlayStation always CD and never cartridge?
Yes.
Game?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't remember the exact history of it, but Sony was working with another company, and they built a different console that did have cartridges. And then I don't know what happened, but Sony decided to start their own thing, and that's where the idea of the PlayStation came from. It was in the mid-90s that video games were making this transition from cartridge to CD.
Right.
And so I don't want to say that PlayStation was the first console to have CDs, but they were one of the first.
That's cool, because I always assumed that every video game started off with cartridges.
Right. I think Nintendo is the only... Well, Nintendo still kind of uses cartridges.
Well, yeah.
The only outliers would be the Wii, the Wii U, and the GameCube. The GameCube used CDs as big as the soda can.
Mm-hmm.
They were super, super small.
Because I know either or whoever, I don't really remember who, but had those black kind of video game-esque, kind of Nintendo Switch looking, but it was PS3, PS4, and they had I think the circle CDs or discs you also put in, a CD player-esque.
So you're talking about the PlayStation Portal.
Is that what that is?
That's what it was called. Abbreviated the PSP.
Yeah, there we go. Is that the same with PlayStation?
Yeah.
Because for some reason I feel, I don't know why I always thought that was with Xbox or something like that.
No.
I don't know what I thought.
So, PlayStation 2, one game, no memory card. So, on this game, I played the same 2 levels, 2 or 3 racetracks over and over again. Till I got to the point where I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to play this anymore.
So you were 10 when you got around 10 when you got the PS2?
I'm going to say I was probably 6 or 7 because the PlayStation 2 released March 4th, 2000. I only say 6 or 7 because in 2002, one of my favorite video game series came into the world, Kingdom Hearts, a crossover between a Japanese video game company and Disney.
Right.
That game came out in 2002. I don't remember when I got the game, but I want to say I got it the same year that it was released. So I had a PlayStation 2 in 2002. I don't know if I got my PlayStation 2 the year 2000.
When it came out?
When the system was out. I might have, because I did get it for Christmas.
See, that still boggles my mind that you're 5, still 6-year-old, and you already have 2 game consoles. Like, that boggles my mind. The fact that your parents got that for you, my brain is not wrapping around that.
Right.
Like, I'm still trying to, like, imagine you a little 6-year-old and you already have a second console.
Oh, it gets even crazier. So the original PlayStation 2 was a big, bulky box.
Okay.
And then they released slimmer versions. So, like, super, super tiny. Of the PlayStation 2. Yeah.
Okay.
And we went to some Christmas party. I don't know what for. But my youngest brother won a white slimmed down PlayStation 2 at this Christmas party. And so, so now, I don't know what year this was, but at that point, so we have a PlayStation 1, original PlayStation 2, and he has this white slimmed down PlayStation 2.
What? So that has to be the reason why now all 4 of you have 4 different consoles. Yes. Because obviously you have your own one here,
right?
And then all 3 of your brothers have their own ones in their room.
So they don't have to leave their rooms ever.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this because like the PlayStation is not cheap. So it's like
I don't know how they were priced back then, but
the PlayStation 4.
The PlayStation 4.
That's what I'm talking about because. Right. Obviously, all of you obviously have your own and whatnot. All 3 of your brothers have their own.
When the PlayStation 4 came out in 2014, it was priced at $400, I think.
That's expensive.
But I didn't have my PlayStation 4 until 3 years ago.
Right.
So 2017, 4 years after the launch, the price has gone down to $250. That seems like the fair price.
Like it should be the price. Yeah. See, but I honestly don't even know anything to begin with game consoles or games in general.
If you sat down and like kind of piece together like what goes into building the thing, then it's like that makes sense.
Well, of course, because it's essentially just like a TV or a computer. Like all these things go in together. So of course it has to be expensive.
Yes.
But still, you all individually have your own. And did you guys also get a PS3 then?
Yes. So.
How?
But before we get to the PS3.
Okay.
So in 2002, Kingdom Hearts comes out. My aunt was very kind enough to buy me the game.
And with this game, did you already know about it?
No.
You didn't know that she just randomly bought it for you.
She took me to GameStop.
And that's the game you picked out?
So we went to the Riverside Mall. That GameStop is very near and dear to my heart because of this. I was just looking at the games, and I just picked up a box with some fun characters and this little kid holding a Keyblade, and then I saw that Mickey Mouse was on it, and Goofy and Donald, and I was like, Tia, I want this game.
Yeah.
And then put it into the PlayStation 2. It starts going in, and I was like, this is amazing. This is so cool. I got maybe 4 levels in. The game is split into different Disney movies. That's the whole thing. It's that you play this spiky-haired child who travels to different Disney worlds themed after Disney movies.
Yeah.
And the first couple are Alice in Wonderland, Tarzan, and Hercules.
Uh-huh.
And for months, I only played those 3 because I still didn't have a memory card.
Oh, okay.
So I got to play those 3 levels probably a good 50 times before I was like, I need something to save this. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave my PlayStation on while I sleep and then come back to it in the morning. And I think at some point I did do that. So I finally got a memory card. It was like a little blue one. It was great. I was able to finish this game, and I walked away from the game so excited for the sequel.
Right.
The sequel wouldn't come until...
And this was for the PlayStation 2?
Yeah, this is still for the PlayStation 2. And the sequel doesn't come out until 2005.
So that's how many years?
So...
in between?
3 years.
3 years.
But the video game company that made Kingdom Hearts came out with a quote-unquote spin-off
Okay.
for the Game Boy called Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which was basically like a redo of the first game, because essentially the characters find this like big castle and they meet these black cloaked figures. They go through this castle, but on every floor it's supposed to be like a different world from the first game. So it's basically you play the first game with a bit of a twist. So that game happens.
Okay. And did you get to play that one?
I did not. I didn't have a Game Boy.
Right. Okay.
So
do you still want to play that one? Do you want to see
I have it. I've already played it.
Oh.
So while I didn't have the Game Boy to play the original version, they would eventually come out with a PlayStation 2 version of it.
Of course they did.
I think that wasn't until 2008, but in 2005 they came out with the sequel. This was still on the PlayStation 2, and so I got the game on my birthday, and I finished it 3 days later.
The whole game.
The whole game, and it's not a short game.
No. Yeah.
I think that game has 10 to 15 Disney movie worlds in there,
right.
on top of original worlds that they created.
Right.
And you have to visit each of them at least twice. The first time you go, you do the movie, and the second time you do the game story. I think I finished that game in 50, 60 hours, and I did that in 3 days.
It's like that's insane to me. And this was the PlayStation 2, you said?
Yes.
The second game?
Yes.
Okay. So you were how old then?
So by this point,
you said 2005, right?
So I'm 10 years old.
Okay.
I'm in middle school at this point. And then the way that game ends, you know that there's a third one coming.
Right.
So from there, the PlayStation 3 comes out November 17th, 2006. I don't think I got it same year.
Right away?
Yeah. That was one I didn't get right away. The PlayStation Portable comes out just the year earlier, March 24th, 2005. My cousin got the PlayStation Portable, and I saw it, and I was like, I really want to play on that. I need one for myself. I would eventually get one.
So you ended up getting one?
I ended up getting one. And I ended up getting one because there was 2 games that I really wanted to play. And they were the only 2 games I played on the PlayStation Portable, even though it had a decent amount of games out for it.
Yeah.
But there was only 2 I cared about, and they were the only reasons I got it. One of them was another spin-off to Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
So, more Disney Worlds. And then another game was from the same company. During the PlayStation 1, this company came out with a game called Final Fantasy VII. The story is apparently amazing. I didn't get to play it. I was obviously just, a baby when this game was coming out.
Yeah.
And I only had SpongeBob and the Spider-Man game to play. So that game came out in 1994 in the PlayStation 1 era. Bringing back to the PlayStation Portable, they came out with another kind of backstory game that leads up into that 1990 game. And I got to play that. And I got to kind of like visit that world. And the only reason I wanted to play that game was because they had made a movie that takes place after their original game.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had gotten that movie, I don't know how, but we were road tripping to Mexico one time.
Okay.
And we had that movie. It is computer generated, so it's all CGI. It's all made in computers like Toy Story, Pixar movies. But the way it looks, you watch it and it's like, no, those are real people. It was that good. We're talking like early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
They were able to get computer animated characters to look like real people. To a child's eyes, at least.
And what movie is this?
So this movie was called Final Fantasy VII
Okay.
Advent Children.
Okay. Yeah, see, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I honestly have no idea. So then when did you end up getting your PlayStation 3?
Probably the first 3 years we didn't have it. So that would make it 2009, 2010?
And it came out 2006?
It came out 2006.
I mean,
that seems about right.
I feel like that's still not bad.
No.
And was there a reason why you guys didn't get it right away?
I don't think so.
Did you guys not ask for it?
No, I don't think we asked for it as badly as we did like the PlayStation 2.
Right.
I also think we had the Wii in between.
So that kept you guys occupied.
So we had the Wii for a while. And my brothers had an Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Either they had the Xbox before we got the PlayStation 3, or they got the Xbox around the same time we got the PlayStation 3.
How?
I don't know.
What?
They might have been secondhand.
The Xbox?
And the PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay.
They might have been like, we bought them from someone who already had it.
Right.
So it wasn't like brand new, like we went to GameStop or Walmart and bought it brand new.
Right.
So to recap, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, Wii, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3.
In literally, like, what, a 10-year time span?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, money was different back then.
Mm-hmm.
But still, even games like that were still expensive back then, at that point in time. So the fact, even if they were secondhand, like the Xbox and the PlayStation 3. But still the fact that you guys got them, it boggles my mind.
Right.
And again, at that point, it's all 4 of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why. It's like, it's what?
Yeah.
And then when you get the PlayStation 3, how old were you?
So 2005, I'm 10. PlayStation 3, so I want to say the earliest I would have been was 14 or 15. And by that point, I was really starting to get into, like, video game, like, news. So I was always looking out for, like, what's the next video game coming out?
Right.
The new stuff that's on the way.
Right.
At GameStop, when you, like, purchase, they always ask you if you want to subscribe to the magazine. I remember I've done that a couple of times, and I would, like, get a year's worth of magazines, and I would read through them. I'm like, okay, what's coming up? What interviews are happening with the people who are making these games? Also, because I really liked the art, and I was like, I'm gonna hold on to these.
Of course.
Around the age of 10, there was a channel called G4. I don't know if it's still around.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it was a TV channel called G4.
Like on regular TV or
cable TV?
See, I didn't have that privilege.
I stumbled upon it one day, and I think they were, like, very much a video game channel.
That's fun.
Yes.
Oh.
I was very excited because when I had stumbled upon it, the E3 convention was happening. E3, it's the biggest video game convention of the year.
Right.
Since then, there have been other conventions that have come up that have done pretty good, but people still kind of feel like that's kind of like the place.
Yeah. I think that. I think whenever one comes up, you tell me, it's coming out this weekend at this time. We're going to watch it. And I'm like, we are going to watch it.
It's every June for the most part.
Again, I don't know.
So I remember watching it on TV first time. And then I don't know what happened. I think 2 years after, either I didn't have cable or I missed it or the channel had been canceled, so to speak, but I didn't watch it after that. And for a couple of years, I didn't watch it until I learned that I could watch it on YouTube. I think from high school till now, I've tried to watch it every year. Yes.
Well, no, I know that whenever there's a new video game out, you're like, look at this video. There's a new video game coming out, and it's like, oh, that's nice. You're not gonna get it. And he's like, please, let me just get this one game. It's like, have you finished the last game? No. Have you given your brother back his games? No. It's like, have you even touched those games? No. And it's like, then why are you going to get a new one? For what?
I've tried to be better at it.
To collect dust?
Yes.
With me, I didn't have that luxury of getting a video game console all the time, which also I think maybe that's why I'm not into it, because I wasn't really introduced to it as much as you were.
Right.
The first one that I ever got, that me and my sister ever got, was the Nintendo 64. And we had that for the longest. That was the only thing that we had, so that's the only thing we played. And I think that was around when I was 7 or 8.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know we lived in Chicago, and how did my parents get it? I don't know. I have no, because I think we were the only ones that had a Nintendo 64 too. Like, no one else in my family had one. So I have no idea how my parents stumbled upon it or knew about it. Because I think we got it for Christmas also. And I remember they're like, here you go. And it's like, oh, what's that? And they're like, I don't know. I think it's like a video game. And we were like, oh, that's nice. Right. Like, me and my sister didn't play anything, so we were like, what is this? For what? Who asked for this?
Right.
How did you guys get this? Again, I never really played, and when I did, I wasn't good. I also just don't have the patience for it. So, whatever it was being played, it was my dad. My dad or my sister. But mainly my dad. I would make my dad play so I can watch it. The games that we had were Mario. Right. Mario, like Nintendo 64. Does it have a specific name, or is it just Mario 64?
It's known as Mario 64.
Yeah, okay. So the main game that we had, that we played, that I watched being played, was Mario 64. And then it was one of a bunch of games together. So like Pac-Man, like I think it was called Dig Dug or something like that. And the Star Galactica or something like that. I don't know if you know what that is. So it's basically like little aliens, and they're like going from side to side, and you're in a spaceship shooting them all.
Yes.
And there was a racing game that was in there also. I loved that one. That, like, it was everything. I think those are the main ones that I remember. So I think we only had those 2 cartridge games, and that's it.
Right.
But we were satisfied with that.
Right.
Because Mario itself had so many levels, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Or just...
Levels.
You know, I remember the first time seeing it, like, I was like, that's so amazing. The color was amazing.
Right.
You know, the sounds that it had, the story itself, I was like, I love it.
I think Mario 64 is the first game to bring Mario into 3D. So everything before that was the side-scrolling 2D flat Mario.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then Nintendo 64, I think, is the first time that Nintendo was like, all right, now he has more than one side.
Right. That's actually rude. I didn't know that. Again, I have no idea. I have nothing. I don't know anything. So.
This is my culture.
Oh. So when, so why are we having this conversation? No, when my dad would play, like, and my dad was really good at it. Again, my dad's just good at everything.
I want to see him play.
Like, honestly, everything. And I think we still have it. I think my mom has it somewhere.
The Nintendo Switch is releasing an anniversary Mario collection, and Mario 64 is going to be on that.
It is?
Yes. I think it's just about all the games that Mario has.
I remember he played it, and then every other day or so, he would play and continue on and continue on and continue on again. He was so good. So me and my sister would just be there sitting, watching, like if it was a movie. And I remember when he was getting to the ending, battling Bowser and whatnot, and it's like, that obstacle course was all just fire.
Yeah.
Fire everywhere. Did you ever get to play it, or to see it?
My cousins that live in Little Village, they had a Nintendo 64 growing up.
Yeah.
So whenever we were over, we played Nintendo 64. And I think Mario 64 was one of the games that they had. So I got to see glimpses of it. I think they had it at McDonald's. I don't know if you remember, McDonald's used to have like these big giant boxes.
Yeah.
And inside you could play like games in them.
And Mario 64 was on
I think
there?
at one point I might have caught Mario 64 in one of those.
Huh.
And I got to play a little bit in there. And one of my mom's friends, her kids had a Nintendo 64, and I think they also had the game. So I was given a decent amount of exposure, but we didn't understand how to play the games then. So.
But you understood PlayStation?
I mean, like, I've never beaten that SpongeBob game. I never beat it. I never beat the Spider-Man game. I was just like pressing buttons and moving them around.
Yeah. You're
5 years old. You don't understand video games to the point that you can beat them.
Which, again, goes back to the question, then why did your parents get you a PlayStation in the first place? See, that's just...
But whatever. I was entertained.
Yeah.
I was calm.
Yeah.
My hand-eye coordination is amazing.
Okay. And then when he finally got to that level, and, like, again, every time my dad played, we were, like, there for, like, a good hour just watching. And then he finally got to that level, and we were so excited. And, of course, he was the one playing, but he was always just so calm and, like, collected. I think he beat it, like, then and there. I don't think he, like, died or anything. Like, he, like, just did it, and then that was it.
That is so cool.
Like, that was honestly just it. Because you had to, like, grab Bowser's tail and spin him and then throw him into a bomb.
Uh-huh.
And you had to do it 3 times.
Right.
And obviously, if he got you would have to start over.
Right.
And, like, his obstacle, his level was, like, already hard to beat. Well, as a little kid, I was like, how are you going to do it, Dad? I don't even know. It's fire. Like, you're never going to make it. But I remember he did it, and it was, like, nothing. Like, he did it so fast, and then you just hear, like, Bowser, you know, like, die or whatever. And then at the end, Bowser, I think, disappears or something, and then a key falls.
Okay.
And then, like, I love the sound. And the key falls, and then you get the key. It's like, I don't even remember. Somehow with this key, you got Princess Peach.
Right.
And then she just automatically appears, and then the end.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. The prize was her. And in the end, then yeah. And then it's like, well, okay, you did it. You can do it again if you want.
Right.
So if anything, you just keep everything there. You already saved her, and you could just go again.
Mm-hmm.
Or just erase it all. And then start from the beginning all over again. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you were able to, like, there was a profile for the game that it's like my dad's game and where he's left off.
Right.
And then my sister's and where she's left off.
So, pretty sure the Nintendo 64 didn't have its own internal memory.
No, I don't think so. I think it was within the game itself. Not like the Nintendo 64, you were able to save. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Within the game itself, it was like, are you this person or are you this person? Right. And my dad or my sister would pick theirs and then they go off.
Right, so I'm just inferring because either I just don't know and the cartridges are able to do that, or your dad was smart enough to buy a memory card.
See, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Again, it's just, we got it, and then we just played it.
Right.
And that's it. I don't know. I've never asked. I've always wanted to, but I don't know.
Now I'm more excited because I want to buy the the Mario anniversary bundle.
I have never played the game itself. I've played here and there.
Right.
But again, I was just never good at it, and I just really loved watching.
We'll play it.
You know, like, aside from this, it's like I'm realizing that I like to watch, and Noah likes to. I like to do it, but I like to watch more.
Right.
That's weird.
No, I mean...
So he gets it from me?
Probably. You're literally the reason we have streaming services, video game streamers.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're not the only person that likes watching people play video games.
Oh, okay. I was so confused. I was like, I'm the reason?
You help Twitch exist.
Thing? See, but I don't even watch anybody on Twitch.
I know. But it's people who prefer watching than playing.
But yeah, and then eventually my sister beat it also, and I was always so intrigued on them doing it and them playing and them winning, and it's like, how'd you do that? How do you do that? And I was like, do you want to try? And it's like, no, because I knew I wasn't good at it.
Right.
So I was like, no, I don't want to. So I stuck to my Pac-Man and my Dig Dog and my Star Galactica and whatnot and racing game.
I actually had a Pac-Man game for the PlayStation 1 too.
Really?
And he was in 3D, and it was like someone stole Mrs. Pac-Man, and so the whole game was like it was basically Pac-Man Mario. Pac-Man going through levels trying to save his wife. What's
really funny is that my grandma really liked Pac-Man.
Oh,
I don't know if she still likes it. Yeah, I don't know if she still likes it, but I remember when she had come one Christmas, I think, to Illinois, and again we had the game. And she really liked Pac-Man. And I remember her just playing Pac-Man there. And I'm like, what is she doing? Like, to my mom. And I was like, she's playing Pac-Man. And I'm like, what? She likes Pac-Man? And my mom's like, she's really good at Pac-Man. But my grandma is really good at Pac-Man.
Well, now we have to see this too.
Knowing that my grandma was really good at Pac-Man, insanely good. And I've always just heard it. I've never seen it. One Christmas, we went over to Texas, and it was late at night. It was time to go to bed. I had come from I was going to go to the bathroom. And I see my grandma in the kitchen with her small little TV in the kitchen and her little joystick that was specifically for Pac-Man that you just plug into the TV. And she's just intensely just looking at the TV, just playing and going.
That's
adorable. And I was like, you do play Pac-Man. It almost seemed like it was a myth.
Right.
That she was good, that she played. And I remember I went to the bathroom, I came back, and I'm watching her, and she's just going. And I'm like, how'd you, because I couldn't even really play Pac-Man that well. And I'm like, how'd you do that? And she was like, I don't know, I'm just really good at it. And I'm like, all right, Grandma, good night. I was like, whoa. But yeah, other than that, we only had that one because, again, I wasn't really interested in video games that much either. And until the Nintendo, the DS came out.
Okay.
And I really wanted one. All my cousins had one, and I really wanted one. And I was always the cousin that was left out. So my cousins would have everything, and I would never have anything. Yeah. So I'd be like, Mom, can I please have this? And she's, no, you don't need it. And it's like, Mom, please. I think it was to a point where I was like, Mom, they're playing. I want to have one too. Please give me one. And then I think it was for a Christmas or a birthday. I got one and got a Nintendo DS. And I was so excited. And it was with your little pen, your little basic pen that could break at any moment. And I remember I got it and it was pink. And if you know me, I do not like pink. Not that I don't like it, I'm just not girly. But anyway, I got a pink one. And I was just excited. So much excitement. And I think the only game that I had for that one was the Nintendo dog game. Yeah. Because I really wanted a dog also.
Oh, they killed two birds with one stone.
I think they honestly did. And maybe I had another game, but I honestly don't remember. That's the only game that I for sure remember that I had. And loved it. Took it everywhere. Had it in my little bag. Taking my dog everywhere. It was great. Loved it. unfortunately, we were on our way to a family party one night, and I left my bag in the car. And I don't think I left it, like, all showing it off, like, the bag in the car.
Okay.
But I left my bag in the car. We went into the store. Like, we were in there maybe a good 30 minutes, you know, just looking around, because I think we were heading to a birthday party, so we needed to buy stuff.
Right.
And so we come back to the car, and our car window is smashed, and my bag is gone. And in my bag, I had money, my Nintendo, and my cell phone. Granted, my cell phone was a little flip phone, a little prepaid flip phone that you needed minutes on, which I'm sure I had none, but that was just, my mom yelled at me really bad. It's your fault just because you left your bag in the car. What was even in there? And I told her, I was like, my Nintendo, like $20, and my phone. And she was like, are you kidding me? That was in your bag? And I'm like, well, yeah, what do you have in your bag? Like, your phone and money, like, you know? And it's like, why didn't you bring your bag? Blah, 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 you know? Like, well, I didn't need to bring my bag. I'm a kid, like, you know? Needless to say, she doesn't let me forget that. So whenever we ever go anywhere, don't leave your bag lying around.
This is true.
You've heard it.
Yes.
And that is directed towards me because of many years ago, being a child,
right,
and accidentally leaving my bag. And then after that, I was like, Mom, can I please get, I think it was a Nintendo, like, 3D?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was next.
Yes, so the 2DS came out. I think they came out in a bigger size, and then they were like, let's add 3D to it.
Yeah. So either I had a Nintendo DS or Nintendo, like, 2DS, but I remember I was like, Mom, can you please get me the Nintendo 3D? Because I was like, 3D, whoa. I was like, that's wild. That's wild for our time, Mom. And nope. She was like, nope. So it could get robbed again? So our car windows can get smashed? No. And I'm just like, okay.
And you didn't miss much.
I know I didn't. I remember, like, later on in stores and Walmart or whatever, you know, how they have them displayed and whatnot. I saw it. I hated it. I didn't like it. I got dizzy looking at, like, I was like, thank God.
The only reason I cared about that one was because the Kingdom Hearts game came out for the 3DS as well.
Of course.
It was supposed to be a very important game in the series because it kind of led into the long-awaited third game.
Wait, so did you get a Nintendo 3D?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
The only systems I've ever had
And no, I was about
for
to say, you and your
PlayStation
family
systems.
are stepping over the line.
No. I wanted one really badly, only because of that game.
Right. Did you ever get to play that game then?
No.
No.
Never played the game. I ended up resorting to just watching a YouTube playthrough.
Oh, okay.
There was a friend in high school who got the 3DS, and he had the game, and I pestered him to let me borrow it just to play the game. He did not.
Okay.
I hate him for it. You know who you are. But, so I ended up watching a YouTube playthrough of it.
Was it what you dreamed it would be?
Kinda. It was actually, I won't say it's the best one. The sequel to the original game, so Kingdom Hearts 2 is like the best one, by far. Everything else is kind of like...
Even the most recent one?
I just will get to it. So, the most recent one came out in 2017. That is over a decade after.
Long awaited. I know. Like, what? For the 5 years that we've been together, you've pestered me about playing this game, about this game in general. Anything, any news, any fake news, it might come out this year. No, it's not. It might come out this year. No, it's not going to. It's going to come out this year. I know it is. And it was like, yeah, it's going to come out this specific year. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Because I had a friend also in high school that he liked this game.
Mm-hmm.
We are very much like big Disney fans.
Right.
Number one. And he was like, Jackie, I know you don't play video games. Because again, I would go over, we would hang out, we'd watch Disney movies, and then I'd watch him play if he was playing whatever. But he was like, do you play video games? And I'm like, no, I do not. And it's like, come over, there's this game, I love this game, I think you'll love it too. It has Disney in it.
Right.
And I'm like, what? There's a game out there that has Disney in it? And he's like, yeah. And he like kind of talked to me about it, and I'm like, that sounds so cool. So my mind was already, there's Disney in it, bro. Like, this is the game for you. And I was so excited. I remember I went over, I came in, and he was playing it. And he's like, this is the game. This is the game, and it's called Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I remember watching him playing, and I hated it. I appreciated that they incorporated Disney in it and the creativeness of the game, but I cannot stand the game.
What?
I don't know which one it was. Don't know.
Not which one. That part doesn't matter.
Okay.
But like, what? I'm assuming he played the first one for you. What about the game specifically?
It was just boring to me.
It was just boring.
The whole game in general is just boring to me. And I like, I don't know, whoever is listening, if they are, like you, big fans of Kingdom Hearts, because a lot of people are fans of this game. But and again, like, I went in there, like, open-minded, and I'm like, it's Disney, I already love it. Like, exactly. I'm gonna love it.
Right.
But when I went in there, when I saw it, I was so disappointed. I don't know. It's just like, I've watched you play, and I still don't like it. It's cute, but I don't like it.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I can't tell you that it's bad graphic or, it's just not the game for me.
Right.
And it's weird because I feel like that game would be for me, but it's not. It really isn't. And I can't really even explain to you what specifically it is because it's just the whole game in general. Just boring. It's just boring.
See, I think it's everything. I don't know how to explain it. So, because you watched your dad play Super Mario 64 and you loved watching it.
Yeah.
No part of that was boring.
No.
You, okay? But then you go to Kingdom Hearts and Mario 64, in a way, very similar games. Because you have your character has to accomplish tasks and has to go through these different levels that are different environments and do different things to reach their goal.
And I know that.
Right. The difference, and I think the thing that pushes you away from Kingdom Hearts is that Super Mario seems to be kind of straightforward. You jump through a painting, or you go to your level, you run around, you collect your coins, you reach the end of the level, you get the key, repeat, right?
Yes and no.
I only say that based off like I played Super Mario Odyssey on your brother's Switch. Played on the Wii. They had Mario games. I don't even like
Super Mario Odyssey. Is that the one that's a world and it's a circle?
Yeah, and he has the hat.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I can't stand that one.
That was weird. But Kingdom Hearts is also like they give you different swords, you know, that do different things. You have items that do different things. You have magic.
I know, and all of that.
Is that the part that bores you?
No, all of that intrigues me, but I am not entertained. I can't. I don't know. Again, it's like I didn't know about this game.
Right.
I didn't go in, like, I didn't research it. I was already hooked on it because of the fact of Disney. And he told me about it, like, more in depth. Like, when I got there, he was like, this is the story, this is this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I remember just sitting there, and it was just a lot of, I don't know, I remember repetitiveness, and it's like, I can't really remember what I saw in the first place.
Right.
But it's like, it's not like it was that one time and then that was it.
Right.
Like, there was different other times where I watched him play or I watched other people play. And I was like, well, maybe it was just that day. Maybe it was just an off day. Maybe where he was, maybe just wasn't entertaining for me.
But you watched him play at least half the game?
I honestly don't.
A good chunk?
I think so, because every time we would hang out, he would play. Like, he'd play a little bit, because I'd be like, this game should interest me.
Right.
And I wanted to like it so bad, but it just wouldn't. And I would give it a chance. I wouldn't just, it was boring, whatever.
Right.
No, like, I'd pay attention, and I'd watch, and I was just like, I can't.
You're just not an adventure game person. Because you look at all the games that I've played, Kingdom Hearts 3, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, just to name the ones that I've played recently. And all of them are the same.
Yeah.
Character, goal, different environments, different weapons, different skills, blah, blah, blah.
And that all interests me.
But it's all
the games
boring.
Yeah.
But you love Animal Crossing.
No.
You don't love Animal Crossing now?
I've never liked it.
Then why do you still play?
Because I like it.
That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
And I think you've developed a small obsession with Fortnite.
Yes, I have.
You want to play that every night.
Yes, I do.
And
we'll get to that in a bit.
I just recently picked up Fall Guys, which is Fortnite in Wipeout, kind of.
Yes.
And then...
So, after the whole Nintendo DS and whatnot, and just having nothing after that, me and my sister weren't into it. My brother was still too young to really have anything, or to be responsible for something. So then we just stuck with our good old Nintendo 64. But once being in high school, and I want to say that was sophomore year of high school, an ex-boyfriend of mine gave my brother, if anything, Xbox.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure which one. I have no idea. But he gave him his old Xbox and was like, hey, you know what? I don't use it anymore. I have all these old games, and it seems like your brother would really like these games. You know, and it was like this big gorilla and like this big something junk. No.
Donkey Kong?
No, it wasn't Donkey Kong. It was like these big characters and like buildings, and like you would jump on them.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. They made a movie on it. They just
Yes.
made a movie with
Yes, they did.
Wasn't The Rock in it?
I don't know. Well, anyway, that was one of the games that he had given him in there. There was, go ahead.
The movie is called Rampage.
There we go. That was the game. Rampage. Junk? I don't know.
Junk Rampage.
So he ended up giving him this Xbox and that game and a bunch of other games. I don't remember the other games, but my brother specifically played Rampage. Like, that was the one.
Okay.
Along with like some racing games, some shooting games, and that's when I like kind of got into it a little bit more, like playing. And I love first-person shooters, like games. Love racing games. Love like fighting games. I think Mortal Kombat was also one of them that was in there, but I'm not quite sure. But I remember me and my brother playing with it, me playing racing games, my brother playing Rampage and whatever else. And I was like, I like it. I like this. I'm into it. Okay.
So then you're more in just like a casual playing experience, something that you don't need to invest time.
No, I definitely. So I think it was freshman year. No, I intensely played video games.
Right.
Freshman year, sophomore year, more so all of high school, I intensely played.
Then to reword my statement, that you like not mindless, but mindless games. Games that you don't need to invest on their story. You don't want a story, per se.
I like story games.
Then I don't know what's going on in your head.
It has to, like, in a way, I have to connect with the game. If I don't connect with the game, I'm not going to like it. And that's weird to say, but that's just how it is with me. I have to, and you know this, I have to connect with a lot of stuff in order for me to like it, you know?
Same.
Yeah, I definitely intensely played, like, a lot, which came to the point where I was like, I need to stop. So then I stopped cold turkey, and then now I just don't know how to play anymore.
God.
So I'm relearning all over again. But again, we had that. I liked it, moved on from it, because I was like, my mom was like, you know, that's not girly. Girls don't, you know, that whole shebang. And I was like, oh, okay.
Which is dumb, because there are plenty of girly girls that play video games.
Yeah.
Some of the most violent video games, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, that statement's not true at all.
So I stopped playing that. And then I think at that point that was pretty much it for me. On the other hand, my brother had everything. And it's funny because I think we stayed more on the Nintendo side than anything.
Oh, yeah, that's very clear with him.
Yeah. So my brother, I think when he was, 8 to 10, somewhere around there, he got a Game Boy. So that was already pretty old itself. But he loved it.
Right.
Like, it was a starter. It was used. And I was like, we're not going to spend money on this kid for him to just break it in the end. So right away, he got very addicted to Game Boy. And Pokemon. Pokemon is his go-to for everything. He got his Game Boy. I think, honestly, we still have his Game Boy. Unless we sold it, but he played that Game Boy for years, like, loved it. Even I played from time to time. I was like, I like this game. Right. And it's like, it's fun. Mom, can I have? No. Okay. All right.
Oh.
So I lived with video games. I lived vicariously through my brother.
Right.
Which sounds very sad. So there was that. And I remember he ended up getting a Nintendo. I don't know if it was like a Nintendo DS, like 2 or whatever, but he ended up getting one. And because I think we both got one. I got one first, and then mine was stolen. And then he got one.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck? I wanted one. But he ended up getting it, broke it completely, got another one, broke that one, and then got another one.
Jesus.
And you can imagine my sad little broken heart, the fact that my brother broke 2 and still got another one.
I don't think, system-wise, we've never broken any of the systems. Controller-wise, completely different story.
Well, yes, but my brother was not careful. And it was always the screens that he would break or he would drop. Like, he was not responsible whatsoever. But yeah, he got 3. So I'm like, okay, something that wasn't my fault. And I never get one again.
Right.
But yet my brother gets 3. How does that make sense? Anyway, Mom. Then after that, I want to say it was like the Xbox came in that he was given. And then I think from that point, he just loved Xbox. And I was like, hey, that's cool. All right. So he played that for a very long time. I think Halo. There we go. Halo was one of the games that was in there. And he played that non-stop. And I can't stand Halo. Can't stand it. Don't like it. Halo.
I respect Halo.
I can't. I think it's just because he played it so much, and then he would also play like those videos of like the commenter guys, and
Red
I think that
blue.
just and I think all of that just irked me to the core.
Right.
So then after that, I think he just continued to get the updated of Xbox versions. So it's like, okay, that's cool.
Because when we met, he had the 360.
Yeah.
And then I helped your mom get him the Xbox One.
Yeah. And what does he have now? Do you know? Or is it still?
No, it's still the Xbox One.
Still the Xbox One.
The new Xbox comes out this year.
Oh.
But I asked him if he's, interested in it, and he says, no.
No.
Not entirely.
He, as many game system as he's had, he's still very loyal to the games that he has. Mm-hmm. And he's content with what he has, If it's like a new game that he wants, he'll go for it. But other than that, he's not like up to date with games and information like you are.
Right.
Unless it's something that he's very much interested in. So, like, obviously Pokemon. Pokemon is like one of the main ones, like, I need to get it now. But I just remember that along the line we ended up getting the Wii also.
Right.
When that was popular. So I'm like, I know I played something. So I'm guessing that was like high school. We got the Wii and we loved it. We all loved it because it was all a family.
And you had Wii Sports?
We had Wii Sports. We had Just Dance. We had Mario games due to me and my brother more so. Played that also nonstop. I think that was the continuation after his Nintendo DS's. Because I think he also ended up getting like the 3DS, if not the next version of that. Like he had a lot of video games.
God.
Or, DS's. So then from that, I want to say we got the Wii, and then we played that for a while, and then obviously he played that for a while because he wanted games for that, and us on occasion, family nights, like, hey, let's play Just Dance, hey, let's play Wii Sports, and then Xbox, and I think that's when that started to happen, and then I think from all of that, he ended up getting his Nintendo DS also, that he really wanted. Does he play it anymore? No.
Because he has the Nintendo Switch now.
No, that's what I meant to say. Oh my god.
Oh.
That's what I meant to say. So, after the Wii, and then after the Xbox, and then after the Xbox 360, and then having now his Xbox One, in addition to that, him getting his Nintendo Switch. And does he play that anymore? No, he does not. Which boggles my mind, because he really wanted it.
Yeah.
Like, he really wanted it.
No, I don't think I helped your mom get that one either.
No, we told her about it, and we told her the games,
yes.
And then she just got it for him on her own.
Did we get that the same year it came out?
Yeah, I want to say yes, actually. I want to say yes. So, my brother has been very blessed with video game console and games in general. So,
Hashtag blessed.
Not me. Apart from all that, to me, besides me having the little Xbox that we were given, and then the Wii, and then from all that up until we were together, obviously, getting the PlayStation, which I don't even use. Something that's actually mine is the Nintendo Switch. Because I was very curious to see what Animal Crossing was. Popped up everywhere. It always was like, you need to get it. You should get it. This is the game for you. And I remember asking my brother, I was like, is this good? Is it worth it? Should I get it if I get a Nintendo Switch? And he's, I don't know, maybe. And it's like, oh, wise words indeed. And I remember this whole pandemic,
right? We
were like that you were going to get one for me and that it was going to be great. And yeah. And I was like, cool. And then they were sold out everywhere.
Oh my god.
And I was so sad because I finally agreed to let you buy me one.
Right.
Because I was like, no, it's so much money. I don't need it. No, just no. And it's like, will I even play it? And then I finally agreed to getting one, and then they were just sold out everywhere. And I was so sad. And then there was one day, I was at my mom's, and then I asked my brother, can I please borrow your Nintendo? I want to play it. You don't play it anymore. Let me play it for the weekend. And he was just like, no. And I'm like, come on, you don't even play it. And he was just like, no. And I'm like, John, please.
He knew.
Did he?
Yeah, I had told him the last time we were over before that. I was like, I think I already had it. I bought her the Switch. I know she plans on asking you for yours. Don't let her get it. I'm gonna surprise her. And then
I didn't know that.
Well, obviously, because it's a surprise.
But what? But like, you didn't even tell me that you told him like afterwards.
Because it's a surprise.
Well, afterwards.
Oh, because it doesn't matter after.
What? And I remember my mom was there, and I already know you were coming to pick me and Noah up. And I'm like, John, just let me borrow it. Why aren't you letting me borrow it? But then it's also my brother to not let me borrow something. So it wasn't strange to me that he was like, no. And then I was like, Mom, tell him to let me borrow his Nintendo. He doesn't even play with it. And my mom was like, John, let your sister borrow your Nintendo. And I'm like, let me borrow your Nintendo. And then I know that's when you were already in there and you saw my despaired face of not getting.
I forget what my original plan was.
You were like, it's fine. You don't need it. Like, you were telling me like, no, let's just go. You'll get one. It's fine. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to play it now.
I want one now. I forget what the occasion was. Something was coming up that I was like, okay, on this day or at this specific time, I'm gonna give it to you. Either that or it was just gonna be this random thing.
I think so because I don't remember anything big.
So then I was just trying to get you home, and so I could be like, so here you go. But you were already asking for it, and I remember I walked in, and you're over here begging for his, and I just look at you like. Why do you do this? You do this. I get you these things, and then you do something that it's like, well, now I have to give it to you now. I have to give you my surprise now.
Because I knew for sure, and I know you knew for sure that I was not gonna leave there without his Switch. Like I was gonna leave there with a Switch, and I didn't know it was gonna be my own. And I remember you went out, and I'm like, what is he doing? And then you came back in, and you were like. Here. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, I bought you a Switch. Here, you have to ruin surprises. And I'm like, okay, rude, first of all.
No,
but thank
rude.
You. But thank you.
Your brother is getting yelled at for me. For you to be surprised.
And I remember John was like, see, that's why. Then go get your Switch. And I'm like, okay. And then my mom there, how much was that? And it's like, Mom, please, Mom, don't ruin this. And happy days. And you had gotten me Animal Crossing as well with the game.
Animal Crossing and one other game, I think.
No, it was just Animal Crossing.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I think later on, like a couple days later, is when you got me Mario Kart.
Right. No, Animal Crossing and Mario Kart because you were about to walk out with Mario Kart.
Yeah. That's the reason I wanted to. Yes. You're correct. And I was so excited. And I'm just like, oh my god.
You only play Animal Crossing and Fortnite.
I do, yes.
You don't play Mario Kart?
I want to play Mario Kart on the TV with you.
Okay. And obviously Mortal Kombat
and
with
I have
me.
Mortal Kombat. And yes, again, that's a game that I also want to play with someone, not just by myself.
We also have Mario Party?
No.
No?
I don't want that.
Oh, no, Mario Kart. Never mind. My bad.
Yes, no.
And then I just got you a game called Bloodstain Symphony of the Night or something around those lines.
Something.
A game that you brought up that you were like, I want to play this game because it looks interesting.
Only because you wanted a game and you were like, there's a special going on. If you want to get a game or two, and then I'll get a game that goes along with the promotion. And that was the only one of the games that I was like, this seems interesting. Right. I guess I'll give it a try. I haven't played it yet.
We watched the review on it and it seemed interesting. It got a decent rating.
Yeah. But yes. I only play Animal Crossing and Fortnite. Animal Crossing, I got pretty far in it, but I was not happy with my layout.
You've done this twice now.
Yes, this is...
This is your third island?
No.
Yeah, because you started... And then you got a little far, and then you were like, I'm just going to start over. And then you got very far into your last island.
Yeah.
And now you've done the crazy decision to just start over.
Which I regretted instantly, just because of how far I was in. And I had characters that I loved. Well, three, but two that I loved. But I knew that the easy way was just to start over instead of trying to get money to move everything around and blah, 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 blah.
I will say that's a failure on Nintendo's part or on the game developer's part for not letting you at least have different savings files for different islands. And forcing you to just have the one.
Yeah.
And either keep that one or go into your Nintendo Switch memory and erase the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can't complain because I like it because it's like daily tasks and little things and I like something, but it does get boring very fast. And I knew that straight from the beginning with Animal Crossing. Even when I first started it, I'm like, I know I'm going to get bored of this very, very fast. But because I got responsibilities to do. I got to take care of my island. I got to, do this and this. My brain doesn't let me just let it go.
And that's why they get you.
Yeah, that's why they get all those little anxiety people out there that's like, oh.
That's why I got so big.
I got you.
That's why it was the biggest thing in the world.
Well, of course. You're quarantined. What are you going to do? You can't go outside, so.
Go outside.
You might as well be inside and create an outside.
Yeah.
But I like it, but it is boring. But I like it. But again, my island is crap right now. But if anybody wants to share their code, I'll share my code.
Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments.
We'll have me visit your island. We'll exchange stuff. It's cool. To this point, I've watched you play Fortnite. When it came out, when it was big, I've always been very drawn to it. I've always watched you play.
You've always watched me suck.
Yes, you're so bad. So bad. And I was always so like, Kevin, you're not doing it right. What are you doing? But then you would always be like, then you play. It's like, no, I don't want to play. No, I can't. And it just goes back to me watching my dad play Mario. Mm-hmm. And it's like, then you play. And it's like, no, I don't want to play. I'm okay. I like to watch. And I don't know what it is about Fortnite. I just really like the graphics. I just really like what you can do. I just really like that you have like the point of the game is to obviously be the last one standing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still do whatever, if that makes sense. I mean, you can, but you can't.
Right.
You know?
Oh, I think you mean like the challenges?
Yes and no.
Because if I remember right, in the beginning, when I first started, it was they didn't have all the stuff that they have now, you know?
I don't.
It was just basically you get in, there are challenges to do, but they're usually like get a certain amount of eliminations or open a certain amount of chests, go to this location, and the occasional like find this.
So the daily challenges then.
Basically.
Okay.
But like the battle pass challenges were kind of similar.
Oh, okay.
And now it's there's fishing. And there's like every couple of days or every week there's like some new area to go explore.
Right.
Now they've added essentially boss battles.
Right.
And challenges that are like kill that boss.
Yeah. And I obviously right now Fortnite isn't as big as it was when it first came out.
So Fortnite has just clocked in their time. So they've taken all the time that every person on Earth has played Fortnite. It is longer than human existence.
What?
We have put more hours into Fortnite than human society has even existed.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I'm talking about like people that we know. When it first came out, it's like that's what all you guys were playing, and I'm there on the sidelines watching you suck. Which I was like, oh, I know this game has so much more potential, but you keep dying. You keep landing and you keep dying. And it's like, when you'd be like, babe, I placed 40th. And I'm like, oh my god, good job. Or it's like, oh my god, I placed top 20 or top 10. And I'm like, good job, good for you. Oh my god.
Don't patronize me.
But you were excited. I know you were excited because you sucked so bad. And it's like, it was so embarrassing when you would play with friends and you would just die instantly. And you're like, hey, can you revive me?
It's still like that sometimes.
And it's like, oh my god.
But that's because up until 2017 when we moved into the apartment and I picked it up, I was only playing adventure games.
Yeah.
Sometimes there were guns involved, but it wasn't like Fortnite. It wasn't an active competitive shooter. I was like, I don't care about online competitive shooters because I'd rather play adventure games and experience a good story.
That's honestly one thing. I was actually very big in online games. Online adventure games, that was my thing.
Right.
On the computer. Like, I was
boss. You were on Club Penguin.
I know. No, I was not. A lot of people talk about it, and it's like I know what it is.
I never played.
I never played though. Yeah, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
Did you play RuneScape?
No.
World of Warcraft?
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
I know. I don't remember the name. I don't know if it was that, but it was some wizard spell game online. But I don't know if it was that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was something that I came across and I loved it. But
I tried to play RuneScape so many times.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically an online multiplayer game, but the couple times that I tried, you start and then there's already like your screen just gets full of other players that are hundreds of levels higher, or even just a couple that are also starting at the same time, and it's like, this is too much. I would have much preferred being in like some remote island where there's me and maybe 2 other players doing the same things, but like you're standing next to someone who's fully decked out in armor and swords and they have like a pet dragon walking right behind them.
With Fortnite, those are the 2 main ones that I'm playing, Animal Crossing and Fortnite. And I don't know what it is, but I can't play Fortnite on the PlayStation. I don't like it.
Makes no
sense.
But
on my Nintendo Switch, easy.
Makes no sense.
I mean, am I good? No. I am not good. I can't build yet. It's like, I can, but I have to do it slowly. So it's like, if someone's shooting at me, I won't build. I can't, I don't know. My brain cannot process that yet.
If we compared you, 2-3 months now? You've played for 3 months?
Yeah. So, all of quarantine? No, because I didn't get...
Because you started at the end of the second season.
Which was in June?
May? Yeah. So you started in May. We'll say you started in May. And it is now September. So in 4 months. So you've played in 4 months. Comparing you to me 4 months into Fortnite, you are so much better.
You were, like... You guys don't understand how bad he was. Bad. You were so bad, and I don't understand why you were so bad.
Because I didn't play shooters like this. I
don't play at all.
But
okay.
Your 4 months of playing have been with me, your brother, and your cousin,
members,
and or our nephew.
Yeah.
Right? So, and your brother is really good at Fortnite.
My brother is so good. My brother and my cousin are extremely good. And
now I have 2.5 years, because I had like a couple seasons that I took off. So I fell off for a good year.
Yeah.
Right? And I've just come back at the beginning of this season. So 2.5 years of me playing, and I've gotten so much better.
You have. You're not as good as my brother and my cousin.
Thank you.
But obviously you're better than I am. You know? And so me and my nephew are there at the bottom. Again, it's like, if you want to play with us on Fortnite, ask for my name, ask for his name, or leave your names.
You can carry me the whole time. Just today alone, you played a game and you got 18 kills.
I did. I'm honestly really excited about that. I don't know how. Because again, I'm not good. I'm honestly not good. So I'm pretty sure the algorithm to where I'm being put in the game is with other people that are also not good.
I was gonna say, not to minimize you.
No. I understand, which I appreciate.
You are put in games of similar skill level, but even that, like my highest kill count, I don't think passes 10. I don't think I've ever gotten more than 10 kills in a single game.
Well, yeah, even me, I don't think I've ever gotten past, again, 10, but if anything, 7. And for today, for me, I was just playing willy-nilly, just for shits and gigs. I was playing, and this game, I wasn't even taking it seriously. And usually whenever I do good is when I'm not taking it seriously, when I'm not even paying attention. And so I landed in... For those who know Fortnite, I landed in Caddy Corner, and I'm like, okay, this is empty. No one's going to come over here. I'm far away from the map, from where the bus, is dropping you off and whatnot. So I go all the way over there. I'm, doing my thing. Open a chest. I'm trying to go in. There's already footsteps. And I'm like, come on. And I shoot that person. Instantly, I'm like, okay, cool. Continue my looting. More footsteps. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, because I'm not good.
You're so inconvenienced.
I am. I'm just trying to loot. I'm just trying to pick up guns. And, because again, I'm not good. I'm not bad. Because I'm making myself seem that I'm really bad. And I'm not that bad, but I'm not good. But footsteps, shoot them down. More footsteps, shoot them down. And I'm like, Kevin, I've killed 7 people. And you're like, good job, babe. You know, it's like, don't patronize me.
Don't patronize me.
No, I know. But I'm like,
you.
just like, whatever. Shut up. So, continue on. I'm still in Catty Corner. And that's where I killed, like, a good 12 to 13 people in Catty Corner.
Jesus.
Yes. And I am so confused as to how and why there were so many people so far away. But I did it, and I go on. Map's closing. I go on and shoot 3 people down. 2 people were fighting, shot 1 down, kept running. The other person was shooting at me, shot them down. Another person heard the gunshots, shot them down. And I was like, okay, cool, okay. By that point, I was like, Kevin, I'm at 12. Kevin, I'm at 15. Like, oh my god, what is going on? And again, you were like, oh my god, babe, good job. And it's like, shut up, Kevin. But again, I was just like, my mind is blown right now. I am so confused.
Right.
And it's like, either there's a lot of bots playing, and I was just shooting them down, or there was just a lot of equally bad people playing as me, and I'm just a little bit better than them. Because again, I don't build whatsoever. I can't do it.
It's so frustrating to watch you stand there trying to shoot someone down, and then they're just also standing there and shooting people down, shooting you down.
Those people build. Like, they build. I just don't. I just, like, waddle side to side, run back, run forward, and that's me. But I'm still, I feel like my aim is pretty good, for the most part. And it's getting close to the end. So I'm at 15, and then there's 5 people left. And then one person finds me, I shoot them down. And they had, like, purple guns. And I was like, hell yeah, take the guns, I'm looting, someone else is shooting at me. And I'm like, damn it, shoot them down. They had gold guns. So I was like, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, get their stuff. And then I noticed that it's just 2 people left. So me and the final person. Right. So I'm there looting, trying to figure out where to go. And the last player comes from on top of the hill and starts shooting at me. And I was like, crap. They got a good 3 hits on me, took out all my blue, and now I'm on my green. And then shoot me a 3rd time, and then I'm on 70. Oh, okay. And I was like, fuck. And again, I don't know how to build. So I'm just there shooting at them too. But then they were better than I was, but I was just consistently just shooting at them, and they were doing the same thing. And somehow I kind of hid behind the tree, but I was still shooting at them, and they were still shooting at me, but somehow I beat them to it, and I won with 18 kills. Insane. Because if you see how I play, I shouldn't have won. I should not have won. I shouldn't have gotten 18 kills to begin with. But I remember I was so excited, and I was like, Kevin, I won. Oh my god. I didn't even know how many kills I had until I asked you, how do I figure out how many kills I had? Took a picture of it. I was like, I gotta tell my brother. Because every time we play, it's like, he's always the one carrying us.
We'll post that picture on Instagram.
He's like carrying us. And then every time I tell him, I'm like, I'm getting better. I swear I'm getting better. Because he also hates that I don't build. And I just stand there. And every time I play, he's like, Jackie, move. And it's like, I am. And I'm like waddling side to side. Jackie, build. I don't know how. I need time. And then, so I quickly take a picture of it. Tell my brother, guess what, John? What is it? My very heartfelt, endearing brother. And then I sent him the picture. And he was like, no way. Good job. Like, what? And I was like, I know. And then we went over. And he's like, wait. Question. And I'm like, what? And he's like, was it solo? And I'm like, yes, it was, sir. And he was like, no way. Like, he still wasn't believing me.
Right.
But he also was, because he also sees that I'm getting better. So he was just like, basically like, no shit, okay. So I think with the same reason with Animal Crossing as with Fortnite, with Animal Crossing, you have like your daily things that you have to do. And with Fortnite, you also have your daily things that you have to do. And like the challenges for the week. And for whatever reason, I think it just has to do with growing up that whenever I receive an assignment, I have to finish it right away. Or else I'm going to forget about it. I'm not going to do it.
Ew.
Something like, yes. You could thank my parents. So my brain is like that with game. And it comes to a point where it's like, either I let it go full on, or I'm in it until I die. Yeah. So...
no.
Yeah. Right now with Fortnite, I do enjoy it just because I do like shooting games. And I'm getting better at it. And I don't know. I just really like the graphics. I really like the graphics.
Awesome.
So if you want to play with me on Animal Crossing and Fortnite.
Type your gamer tag and then your New Horizons code in the comments. So,
yes.
To wrap it up.
Yes. Sorry.
Do you know what the No. Who lives on, I forget the name of the street. Michigan Avenue.
No. Anyway.
Do you know the very first video game ever?
In general?
Yes.
Oh, no.
No?
No.
It is Pong.
Am I supposed to know what that is?
You don't know Pong?
Like ping pong?
Yes, like kind of like ping pong.
Like the little like things on the TV where it's like boop.
Released in October 1958.
Boop, right? Yeah, okay.
Pong.
Yes. Then yes. I didn't know that was the name of it.
Cool. I just wanted to give you that little trivia fact, and if anyone else didn't know, that is the first game that was ever made.
That's actually really cool.
So,
is it a specific game system?
No.
Or it was just in general the game?
The game basically was just you had the singular joystick. It had one button. You plugged it into whatever you had to plug it into, and then the game went.
I just remember another game that I had because there were there was always little things that I had. It wasn't never a specific thing. So I also had this game, like I mentioned with my grandma. She had a joystick that you plugged into the TV, and it was specifically just Pac-Man.
Right.
So my mom got us this for Christmas. It was also a joystick, but it was a Disney one. And then that one had Aladdin in it. I know it had another one, but I just remember Aladdin. I think it was, So for the Aladdin one, it was like a kind of Mario-esque.
Right, a side scroller.
Yeah.
Where you had to jump on platforms and stuff. Yes.
And I loved it. I never beat it. It was really hard, to be honest. It was actually very hard. But I remember I loved it.
They had one for Lion King too.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want to say I remember that one too, but I don't.
There's a chance they probably had a bunch of video games made for 90s movies.
Yeah. I specifically remember the Aladdin one. And I know that was along with like Nintendo 64, that one, and then onto Nintendo DS.
Right.
And that's where the journey for Nintendo DS happened with me and my brother. And yeah.
So, that's going to end this week's episode. It is going to be a long one. I'm sorry that it's going to be a long one, but I don't want to break this one down into two parts.
No, yeah, I don't think this one should be broken down.
So, if you're still here at whatever length this is...
Thank you. Thank you for still being here.
I hope you enjoyed our stories and our nonsense. Hope you come back next week to see what we talk about next.
Hope you come back next Sunday to see what we talk about.
Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you want to.
Keep your notifications on so you know when we upload the next podcast. Leave a comment down below. Let's interact. Let's talk about video games. What are your favorite video games? What's a video game you absolutely hate?
Kingdom Hearts. Don't come at me.
Don't speak blasphemy.
Don't come at me.
What's your first video game console? And what's the first video game you ever played?
Do you still have that video game console? Because I know you still have most of your some old video games.
They're somewhere.
Yeah.
I think my mom still has my first PlayStation.
Again, I'm pretty sure my mom still has a Nintendo 64.
And follow us on our Instagram. Follow us on our Facebook page. We post previews and pictures on both of those platforms as well.
And if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, also let us know.
Yeah.
See what you guys are interested in, what you want to hear us talk about, what you guys are interested in.
I think that's everything.
Is it?
Yes.
I feel like we're still new to this, so I'm just like...
We're 5 episodes in. If you're still here, thank you. And I hope you stick around.
I swear it gets better. It gets better, I swear.
Alright, until next week, guys.
Alright. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
I can do this time.
Okay, bye.
Nope, I didn't do it right this time. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.